The bride was not aware that there was a prominent guest there when the wedding ceremony began. She had no idea that her father-in-law was hiding somewhere down the hallway. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Even though he was unfamiliar to her, the shock he was about to reveal would be unlike any other. Not from an unexpected arrival, but from who he was. She looked again and broke down in tears when she finally spotted him. She grabbed the microphone and screamed, "Stop! Put an end to the nuptials!" She was quite taken aback by this man because of something that had happened the previous week. A note was left in the mailbox for Amber. That's not unusual in and of itself, but the contents of this letter would completely upend Amber's world, since she needed to sign this form. The marriage was formally recognized in the letter as community of property, meaning that everything would be shared by the couple. Amber went into a panic. Was she prepared to devote to such a significant task? Was marrying him truly what she wanted? Was this the one? Then she took a step that put her marriage in danger. She made an effort to ignore the letter's sentiments. Though he hadn't seen it yet, she felt her partner would take it extremely calmly. It was a useful exchange, and he had no problem at all disclosing anything to her. He did love her, after all. However, Amber saw much more in this letter. She was welcoming a life with her partner and bidding farewell to her single existence. Naturally, they were already together, but after this, she would never be able to go back, and they would be together for the rest of her life. The 28-year-old female experienced a panic attack. Was the wedding something she truly wanted to happen? Was he really the one she should be with? Only 1 week remained until the wedding, and Amber couldn't believe these last-minute concerns were plaguing her. Feeling overwhelmed, she asked herself, "Why is this happening to me?" She made the decision to act quite strongly. She silently packed her things after waiting for her husband to go to sleep. She didn't want to tell him lies, but the doubt was overwhelming. Unaware of her destination, but unwilling to stay, Amber packed her bags and abruptly left the house. All she wanted to do was hop in her vehicle and go, and she carried out that precise action. Amber pulled off at an old tavern after more than 2 hours of driving. This area was going to transform her life, even if she didn't know it at the moment. As she stepped into the pub, she felt alone and lost. Knowing that drinking would make it impossible for her to drive, she sat down and ordered a double whiskey with ice. This was a deliberate lack of preparation. She required a vacation from decision-making. She leaned her head on the bar and asked the bartender, "What should I do now?" The bartender stammered, unsure of how to respond, but just as she was about to enter, there was someone who would have the ideal response for her. The pub doors opened as Amber attempted to tell her story to the inattentive bartender. Later on, as the sliding saloon door opened, Amber informed her mother it seemed like she was seeing an old Western. It was 11 p.m. by now, and the outside light was gone, making it difficult for Amber to see who had entered. However, the man appeared to be older. He was moving across the tavern looking well-groomed in a dark blue suit. The man walked up to the bar, sat down next Amber, and ordered the same drink, giving her a weird feeling of comfort. After a little silence, she confided in him about her nervousness about getting married, feeling unprepared and terrible about it. The knowledgeable and kind guy talked about how he had overcome uncertainties in his over 40-year marriage. He underlined how crucial it is that she and her spouse have honest and open communication. He said he had something in his briefcase for her before he left, but the man was gone when Amber came back from the bathroom, which made her think and feel inquisitive. She made the decision to talk openly about her issues with her lover after realizing she couldn't put her troubles off indefinitely. Amber had to face reality when the cab pulled to a stop in front of her home. The gentle old man's remarks encouraged her to continue walking, even though she still wanted to turn around and flee. She took a seat on the bed beside her partner and gave him a gentle pat on the shoulder. "Awaken, honey. We must speak," she stated. David, her partner, woke up slowly and sat up straight in bed. "Baby, why are you crying? Why do you feel so chilly too?" he inquired. "Did you go outside or something?" She felt well physically, but David gave her the anxious look he often gave when she was sick. Her mind was the one rushing. Amber gave a detailed explanation of the circumstances. She clarified that she had received a letter proposing to get married and share all of their assets. She also informed him that all of this overanalyzing was the reason she had drove away. Amber decided that his message sufficed, so she omitted the park where she had met the mysterious man. Amber was left completely doubtful after what David did. David grasped her hand and expressed his gratitude that she had revealed this, adding that he too was anxious about the future, but that they would work it out together. He answered, "That's what couples do." Sincere communication with your spouse is essential to a good marriage, the old guy at the pub said, and she realized that David was the one for her. Amber was excited for their wedding day once more and was free of all doubts. They coordinated all of their plans together after that. No more mysteries, and most all, no uncertainties. And the big day arrived before she even realized it. However, their nuptials would take an even more peculiar turn. Amber was ready. She was beaming from ear to ear and was dressed elegantly in white. The excited soon-to-be bride told her closest friend, "I just know that today is going to be perfect." The entire family was there at the wedding, which was taking place in a charming small chapel a few villages away. David's father had moved to Canada following the loss of his wife, but Amber had not yet met him. David had told her things about him that piqued her interest, and she was excited to meet him at the wedding. But as the ceremony started, his chair was still vacant, which raised suspicions. They were preparing to move forward without him when something unexpected happened. Amber was shocked when a guy emerged from behind the curtain and entered the platform, as the priest was asking whether anyone was against the marriage. She was surprised to see the man there. It was the same one she had met in the pub. He walked over to the pair, gave David a hug, and said something in a whisper to Amber. Unable to process what was happening, she cried out to terminate the wedding since she was so emotional. The crowd was taken aback. With great care, the guy removed the pastor's microphone and made his introduction. Since half of the audience knew the man previously, notably David's family, they weren't shocked by this incident. But Amber, who was still staring at him with her huge eyes, was interested to hear what he had to say. He identified himself as David's father and told Amber and the other half of the crowd that he had traveled from Canada to watch his son be married to this particular woman. He said that a week prior, fate had already brought Amber and him together. However, the most remarkable thing was still to come. For I had promised you the contents of my briefcase, and had told you that those contents would completely remove your doubts about the future with this very man you are about to marry, stated the man. His coat pocket held a little package that he took out. "This was in my briefcase when I met you," he said. He showed Amber what was inside the package after opening it. It has a velvet cushion inside and a lovely antique ring fastened in the middle. "My wife owned this ring when we were married. She's not with us anymore, but I will always adore her. If you could accept both this and my son's rings, it would be an honor for me. It's how I'm wishing you a happy marriage. I have no doubt that as you become older together, you two will develop a solid and loving bond." Abundant with feelings, Amber said a sincere yes to the ring. She turned to David after giving the now unmysterious man a hug. After exchanging vows, the pair tied the knot, optimistic about their future. Their wedding day was made much more spectacular by the presence of her father-in-law and a unique present. After 2 years of marriage, Amber says she can't fathom her life without David. Their marriage has been built on her father-in-law's instruction to always be open and communicate, which they carry out when they visit him twice a year in Canada. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.